times we've seen this type of a matchup. Just what you said, better team at home should steamroll them, and we've seen it go the other way. Sometimes, though, they buy into it and understand we are the better team. Let's go out and prove it right now.
Interesting. I mean, they're putting their foot on the gas here early, going for 2 to go up 8-0.
Well, after that drive, you have to believe that they thought to themselves, if we can do that, what's another 2 yards? Let's go get those and get 2 points as a result.
And he returns this to the 22.
K.J. Osborne on the return. The Vikings take over 1st and 10.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. And he'll throw right away. Quickly to Thielen here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Call it a gain of 14 for the second play in a row. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage and hit clearing space.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
And it brings up 3rd down.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
And he's finally taken down, but not before he reaches the 14. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Flushed out right. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down. To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson.
Ray certainly did it.
Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Willie Snead there to make the grab. And the Ravens will extend. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find a target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And some room to maneuver.
Marcus Peters.
That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. And we got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different.
And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, 27 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. Well, and he takes off with it. It's a fake. And that one goes virtually nowhere. Tried to fake extra point, but nothing comes of it. The third time wasn't a charm. They got the first two two-point tries, still have the lead, but couldn't get the third.
Okay, so they didn't get this one, but I have to ask you, what matchup are they seeing that they feel that confident?
Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Ravens.
Fumble on the play. Recovered by the Ravens.
And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. His throw caught right around the 6. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. But it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they...
And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
He'll run it. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson with his second touchdown here in this first half. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. So the lanes continue to be there for Lamar Jackson to run that football. That his second touchdown run of the game.
You know what I would like? I'd like for us to be able to go into a defense's room after playing Lamar Jackson and watch the tape and see how much of a lane was really there and how much he created just through his talents. In any event, Lamar Jackson finds the end zone, doesn't he?
He always seems to, but that's a good point. We sometimes put blame on the defense. Maybe we just need to praise Lamar Jackson a little bit more. And this will come out to the 25 as Osborne elects not to return it. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll set up to throw. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. So they keep the ball, but work to do on 2nd and long. Off the play fake. Cousins, nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown.
Touchdown, Ravens.
This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistake,
and he takes off with it. It's a fake. And that one goes virtually nowhere. Trying to fake extra point, but nothing comes of it.
I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number one, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number two, if you are going to go for two, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
That's fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Take over first and 10 at their own 25.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Able to fall on it, but look where they recovered it. That's a big loss.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they finally get him down at the other 46. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 43 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph, but it'll be second down.
Marcus Peters on the coverage.
On second down now, it's Cook as he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
And it's 3rd down.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Like a freight train off the edge, Calais Campbell with a sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
1 yard line.
And the Baltimore Ravens now 4-1 in 2020. They get the relatively easy win over Cincy Week 5, 27-3. The 4th straight time they've beaten their AFC North rivals. And the Ravens getting their first look at Joe Burrow. And really, they were the first one to totally tamp him down, holding him without a touchdown. And what was that you told me, Charles, the 5th time that a reigning MVP had taken on last year's #1 pick?
Yeah, and like the previous 4 times, the MVP came out on top. In this game going into it, when you looked at those two playing against each other, it was almost like professional wrestlers, belt versus belt, wasn't it? Think of the hardware both of them have in their homes that they have accumulated during their time. Not just reigning MVP versus #1 overall pick, but both former Heisman winners going head-to-head. You name it, that matchup had it. And now we got to take a look at what Baltimore has coming up. They go to Philadelphia, a short road trip next week before they get their open week in Week 7. And right now, this schedule's really good for Baltimore in terms of travel.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Marquise Brown, 31 yards. And the Ravens it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half #1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Setting up the screen for Cook. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other...
And all he takes off with it, it's a fake. And that one goes virtually nowhere. Tried to fake extra point, but nothing comes of it. They had the big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that two-point conversion.
And I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point? But after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for two and really try to capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Come the Vikings, they'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
First down.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Now Cook hit and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. Even the great ones, some of the best, they're not immune to the fumble, and here it really hurts them.
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will come out to the 25 as Osborne elects not to return it.
25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant. You've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back the intended target. And it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Calais Campbell picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. Being chased out left. Now he'll pull it down. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
And Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. An 18-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to pour it on. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And he'll be out of bounds well short of the goal line, so the attempt at the fake extra point unsuccessful.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for two in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Again, it's Cook. Now Cook hit and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long.
I know they're not asking me, but I'll give you my opinion anyway. I think it's time to erase that play from the call sheet. I guess they figure with the big lead they can experiment a little bit. But all in all, just go ahead and put that play on ice.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay?
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. Complete. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go...
And a loose football. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. And that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll wind up as a loss on the play. So now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Take over 1st and 10.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. To throw is Jackson, forced out to his left. He's going to take off with it. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Well, as we normally do, let's look ahead to what's to come here in the NFL for Week 6. Some changes to the schedule in this most unusual season. But, CD, I've earmarked a few here. I've got Cleveland and Pittsburgh, Green Bay and Tampa Bay. Of course, that's going to be a lot of fun. Arizona, Dallas, Monday night. And then you got Buffalo, KC moved from Thursday to Monday to account for Buffalo playing on Tuesday in Week 5.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and start with that one because that Buffalo-Kansas City game, as you mentioned, was originally a Thursday night feature game. Then they moved it to Sunday, and then they had to move it to Monday because of the juggling of the schedule in this most unusual season. Arizona, Dallas, Monday night, that feels like an old school kind of a game, doesn't it? And now we'll have Andy Dalton at quarterback for Dallas. And Green Bay, Tampa Bay, that's simple. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. And Cleveland, Pittsburgh, how great is this now to feel like it's the old AFC North battle with Cleveland fully in the fight?
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now in Baltimore. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And this offense is running away with this one. So once more, the Ravens will come to the line here and go for the two-point try. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Hey, baby, this ain't good enough for us.
So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Calais Campbell able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Pernell McPhee always a threat to find the QB, and he gets to him there.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
This is fielded at the 27. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. 1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. The 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 50 yards. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, we've certainly seen this before, CD. No one can quite electrify a crowd like Lamar Jackson, and really don't know what else to say other than that was special right there.
I think you pretty much said it all, but I go back to what you said about electrifying a crowd. He's also electrifying us, and we're calling the game. This guy is simply sensational.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will come out to the 25 as Osborne elects not to return it.
25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It's certainly.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
And then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Intended for.
And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Peters on the coverage.
3rd and long for Cousins. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Oh, things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Now Jackson on 1st down, escaping the pressure right. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. And often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Tried to roll out, make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend a play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and you end up getting sacked.
At their own 34-yard line.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 34.
He'll throw from the gun.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. The Vikings on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken around the 12. Oh, he shifts past him. Oh, and now he bowls him over. A very good punt, but a 16-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
1st and 10.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense.
And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. We you know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
This is something we saw often during his MVP season of 2019. He's going to set up to throw. Doesn't like anything he sees downfield and takes off and goes. So even though you know it's coming, the trick is still finding a way to tackle him in the open field. Not many people are going to get Lamar Jackson down when he has space.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will come out to the 25 as Osborne elects not to return it.
25-yard.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Matt Judon able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Now Cousins on fourth down. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Calais Campbell. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number one.
It should be number one, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will come out to the 25 as Osborne elects not to return it.
25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because
now Cook hit and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And now off to the races down the right side. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. Ravens. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will come out to the 25 as Osborne elects not to return it.
5-yard line.
Cousins on first down. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Calais Campbell, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance. And Cook has it, left side.
Pass complete.
Give him 3 on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Brings up 3rd.
Down here. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be
form the defense through the shutout, Adam. I think they worked in concert.